And that does it for this edition of Canyons News. But before we leave tonight, we want to give a special thank you to someone who always talks about how proud he is of us. But tonight, we want to show you, the viewers, why we are just as proud of him.
Intercepted! Omar Morgan!
You wouldn't know it unless you were watching the news in Cheyenne, Wyoming at 5 p.m. to see and hear this face.
It's New Year's Day, and that can only mean one thing. You've been sitting in the easy chair, your hand on the remote control, you haven't moved in hours. Football galore, and now it's my job to bring you all the highlights. And one reminder, coming up right after our news, the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State and Texas battling each other.
I never knew you were that much of a bowler.
No, not a bowler, but a bowler.
Years later, he returns back to his home state of California, passing on the knowledge to his students at a school called College of the Canyons. He started a program called Cougar News, but is known as Canyons News today.
It's one of the greatest opportunities for students to really learn how to do hands-on. I think that when students come in here, especially ones that are really kind of like searching for a passion, I think they walk through our doors, they see what we have to offer here. They see the cameras, the lights that are sitting here around me, the stage that I'm sitting on. They see the equipment they get an opportunity to use, and it's really a great opportunity for any student, right? For anybody to come in here and to learn how to tell a story, and we're very proud of that.
As the years go on and students walk in and out of the classroom, there are some that find their calling.
Place them in a bag on their porch.
I mean, I can just tell you, after doing this for almost 25 years, working with students, watching the light go on when a student sits there and goes, that's what they're talking about. And then watching them set sail on a journey of storytelling is extremely cool.
And really change the course of their lives and their career. And he's quite literally the reason I'm sitting in this studio today.
He was there, and he's there for a lot of people at this point in their lives where they're trying to decide what the heck they're going to do. And I think Dave has guided a lot of people in the right paths, and I am so thankful for that.
Just to ham it up for you. Go ahead, please do.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Keep going. Keep going.
But then an increment.
Sprinkler?
While showing his pupils the beginnings of their journalism career, he has taken on another fun job, and that is being their mentor.
Single and solitary goal in my life is to be a mentor to someone else, especially like how Brill was to me.
I feel like Dave kind of acted out as a mentor to myself to kind of like how, ways to teach. Because obviously like every student is different. Some students come in with like a ton of background. Some students come in with zero background. Some students like come in thinking this is not a media class and you're like, they really don't want to be here. How can we help them? And Dave has always been very good at like making all students feel welcome in his classroom.
But Dave sees something in all of his students. I think he gives all of his students a chance. He ultimately understands that community college is a place where people find themselves and where people try new things out. And he takes that and whether it's the students that are in his 100 course, the basics, whether it's the students that are 3 years into the program, the super seniors, he still, I believe, would treat most of those people, as if they did have some untapped reservoir of talent somewhere within them. That's just how Dave is.
Without Dave Brill, I think this would be a very bleak world. You wouldn't have the person that you see delivering your news on NBC. You wouldn't have the people in the behind the scenes delivering your news at Fox. You wouldn't have the people out in the field asking the important questions. As a society, most people don't get this, but our nation would be impacted. You never really think of that one central person who can impact a whole nation as a college professor. You think of them as the President of the United States, right? Here at COC, we have someone here who is kind of our secret weapon almost. We have a guy here who's impacted a whole nation from the role of an instructor.
As a professor and a mentor, Dave has one quality that he shares the most. his heart of how much he cares for his students.
I think his personality definitely encouraged people coming back. I think a lot of the kids that I know in the class, and even myself, I wouldn't have come back if it wasn't for Dave because of who he is as just a person in general.
And he's always there to lend you support, whether that's, with a hug, if there's something that went wrong, or hey, this can be better, let's try it like this. He's just such a great person to have in your corner and such a great mentor to have.
I've never had a professor that took the time to have a one-on-one conversation to see, where his students are at and kind of what he can do to better the program, because he's very passionate about this program and you can see it in his work every day.
Dave saw in me and in maybe some of his previous students a drive and willing to work hard and improve and desire to be in the industry. And I think that's the greatest thing a teacher can do, is encourage people to continue to get better.
I think that without Dave, I would definitely be I couldn't even imagine. It'd be so much worse. This class has completely enveloped my life and it's become so much of what I'm passionate about and what I'm working towards, that it's so difficult to even imagine.
I remember one time when I was really going through a tough time, and for one reason or another, it brought me to Dave's office. And I was sitting in Dave's office just kind of telling him I was having a rough time. And I remember him taking the time to sit there and listen to me and tell me that everything's going to be okay.
Whatever it may be, I mean, he has started as a professor that I didn't really know and has turned into an amazing figure in my life, really, that I know that I can go to with anything, because that's the kind of professor and person that Dave is. You can go to him with whatever you need, whether it's personal or school related or professionally related. I know that he is there to listen, he's there to coach you, guide you, give you whatever advice you may need, and cheer you on, because that's what he wants. He wants to see you be the best version of yourself in this industry.
He just has a special way of being there for people, for all types of people too. And that's why there have been so many successful Cougar Newsies or Canyons Newsies, because of Dave. He just does so much for us. He believes in us, and that's really the main thing, is that you always have someone there for you, and that continues on. Every single time I'm thinking about a job or thinking about something in my life that could alter it, or thinking about a big decision, I call Dave.
I've never had that experience before. Yeah, it's so wild to me, to have that. He personally takes personal interest in you and your success. He doesn't just do that he doesn't just basically every student. I've never seen that before.
If I were to describe Dave to someone that hasn't met him, I would say he's like a dad to me. I feel like I can go to him about anything, and he genuinely cares about what I'm saying. And he gives really good advice. I know a lot of students feel comfortable going to him, which is huge. I would really describe him as a genuine person who wants you to succeed. There's never a time where he doesn't put in his best efforts for his students. And it's just nice. It's nice having a dad to go to at school. When you aren't feeling your greatest or you're feeling down, it doesn't have to be about school. It can be about anything, and he's there.
Dave is like the godfather of a lot of Cougar Newsies that have actually come through the program. You have journalists that have won Emmy Awards, Golden Mike Awards, all sorts of awards.
I've known Dave for 14 years, and never once has there not been a time that I haven't gone to Dave for advice. I've always sought advice from dating to the best kind of booze, to my stories and what is closest to me, and help me find my voice. We always say there's someone in our lives that helps us find our voice, and you never really think that it's going to be your college professor. And for me, Dave was the guy who helped me find my voice, but today helps me refine my voice and helps me to determine who I am. It helps me to determine not necessarily just who I am as a person, but he's helped me to determine who I am as a man. He's helped me to determine who I am as a storyteller and just as someone in society.
You're abandoned, their drivers having to be shuttled down the road.
And we were there at the very beginning, right? Some of them had a lot of self-doubt.
He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at the time, which was, you could do this. Like, you could be a reporter on camera. And I remember thinking, like, Dave, you're nuts. Like, no, you're crazy. This is not what, no, me? No, I don't do this.
Didn't think that, you know, they were cut out for this industry.
So I was at the point in my school semester where I needed to choose a career. And my counselor had said, all right, Lauren, you've taken all your GEs, you've taken everything. Well, I don't know what I want to take. And he says, well, you took my counseling class. What was your top career choice? And I said, journalism. But I don't want to do journalism. It did not interest me at all.
And then at some point to watch them, like, it clicks here, and then they get in the industry, and then all of a sudden, there they are, anchoring the weekends at an NBC affiliate here in Los Angeles, or doing weather at our ABC affiliate here in Los Angeles, or producing in newsrooms all over Los Angeles. And quite honestly, we've got reporters and anchors and people behind the scenes all over the country.
Without Dave, I would really say I would be probably behind on some of my skill sets, just because he really immerses you. Day one, you're in the trenches, you're learning writing, editing, audio, everything. So I think I would actually be a little hurt in my career just because I wouldn't have known as much as I do today.
I don't think I would be in journalism if it wasn't for Dave.
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 Love you, Dave. Thank you.
This is Canyons News.